Let's get the show going. Now look, this is what an Enigma member looks like, Avery. It has Enigma in front of the name.
Yeah.
You know who doesn't have Enigma in front of his name.
Then I guess we know who needs to put Enigma in front of his name.
No. I have Timba in front of my name. It means Terran is Imba.
Terran imbalanced.
Yeah. Like this. Timba next, nice and main. Anyway, we are now in game number 1 between our Protoss in the top left of Babylon with the blue probes. This is Academy. The current, I think, number 2 in the league against the reigning champion at the moment, the Terran. In the bottom right side of the map with the red SCVs, we have Lazy Blobfish, also known as Sung. You know, Lazy Blobfish, when I think about that name, I think Turtle Terran, because he is very lazy and won't move out on the map. But there will only be one way to fact check this, and unfortunately it turns out to not be true, as he is already signaling some very aggressive play towards Academy. Now, at least he's even being one of these bitch Terrans who doesn't want to be scouted, and he will succeed in that as Academy's probe finds himself in front of a full wall. So he will not know that the second gas is up, and he will not know the timing of the tech or the follow-up thereof. The barracks does finish, Reaper starts, and soon not the factory. Who could have guessed? Academy at the same time decides to scout around the map a bit. He's a little suspicious of what's going on. Did see the barracks, but there's always the option of there being a second barracks somewhere out on the map. But so far his build not deviating much, and is just keeping it standard for now. Probe stays on the other side of the map as well, as the factory for Sung is nearly halfway done. Depth did start. At the same time, the second barrack for Sung is going down, so there will be a lot more bio than Academy will be used to. And let's see if he decides to go for some more unit production rather than the Twilight. And Stargate is the tech of choice. And with the Stargate, as is customary, the second adept will follow. For now, a delayed warp gate, as it has still not started, but with the Stargate, it is not the biggest of concerns. Starport is now also down for Sung, as the tech lab is going to be prepared for that factory. So I'm curious if this is for tanks, if this is for the starport, or maybe for a Cyclone, and it turns out it is indeed for tanks. Academy's probe has in fact been killed, so there will be no more information for Academy to gain until he decides to send another unit across the map. So far it's looking to be a pretty threatening push for Sung, as 3 Marines are being pushed out at the same time, along with the tank and a medevac, so he will be able to get that high ground vision and keep his Marines healthy at the same time. Oracle coming out for Academy. He really wants to see what's going on the other side of the map and maybe get a bit of damage, as right now the mineral line is fairly unprotected. Twilight is the follow-up tech, so he's looking to invest in the future rather than trying to defend this one base aggression from Sung. But I'm hoping he will cancel that once the Oracle does go across the map, as the Twilight is not helping much in the face of this aggression, along with the SCV pool. Academy does scout this and decides to not kill any of the SCVs for now, as 1 Marine showed up. Oracle is going home, however, whereas Sung's push is finally going across the map, losing all of its shields on the Oracle, but no hull damage as of yet. Hopefully looking to place a stasis ward, and Academy thinks that as well. 2 adepts venture out across the map and see the amount of Marines that have appeared. as the tanks get flown across the map and are now able to siege as the SCVs are going into the stasis trap. Second gateway for Academy is going down, so it's going to severely hinder his unit production and maybe even his defense, as Sung is now shelling away at the pylon as one tank decides to move up, as he does kind of want to take out the batteries. Void Ray has been produced, focus on the tank does fall, and the Void Ray barely gets away with his life. One battery is depowered, so with the second battery falling, there will be no more shield regeneration for Academy. As it does fall, got a little bit of shield on the Void Ray, but for now Sung is setting up a pretty fortified position inside of Academy's natural. Academy is going to try to break it with the Oracle, with the Void Ray and the Stalkers, but the Marines target down the air units first as the tank shells away at the Stalkers, and a lot of units for Academy do fall. Barracks is about to finish up, a lot of Marines still here. Second Void Ray showing up, Academy really, or Sung really going to need to make use of this bunker as now a Liberator shows up. Not using the bunker as the Marines do fall one by one, and there is no more anti-air left for Sung as one Marine finally enters the bunker, but unfortunately the Void Rays do get away with their lives and are dealing a lot of damage to this bunker, but the bunker is getting repaired by the SCVs that survived. Now, not a lot of damage left here for Sung, but units are slowly being rallied across the map. Unfortunately, losing another Marine, losing a lot of the SCVs here. Cyclone does show up now to deal with the Void Rays as the probes are pulled onto the bunker. A lot of probes falling, 8 probes, 9 probes, 10 probes, and the bunker is still being prepared by 3 SCVs, and it is enough to heal it and keep it alive. Finally, it does fall to the Void Rays. One falls at the same time as along with a Void Ray. Another Void Ray falls, but there are no units left here for Sung except for the medevac, and GG is called.
That's the first time I've seen someone help that push.
It happens, apparently. On the grass.
The push was so deadly against Protoss.
Alright. At least it was a very exciting game. Oh, something in my throat.
It was a lot of action.
Alright, game number 2 between Academy with a sloppy but successful defense against Sung's one base aggression, as he is now on map number 2, Crestfan, with the blue probes. We have Academy. Now Sung showing some aggression.
Come on, but
My
come on,
go.
I'm
I'm just gonna mute you for now. Sung in the bottom left here, with bottom right, with the red Terran SCVs once again. See if he can tie up the series, as last game had a solid push, but unfortunately the defense was a little bit more solid. Though both sides could definitely benefit from taking a look at the replay. Academy scouting across the map once again. This time, the same thing for Sung. Curious to find out whether it's also the same build, but so far it has not been a full wall yet, as the probe makes its way across the map. And if Sung wants to deny that information, he'll have to hurry up, but the probe does make its way inside. Just going to try to harass the SCV for now. SCV gets in between the depot and the barracks, so he's safe. And the probe makes its way across the main base of Sung, and does find out that there are 2 gases. SCV production is also been halted, so it's just going to be for a fast orbital, as the barracks is making a Reaper and the factory does in fact start. Just a standard Nexus timing for Academy, the pylon, so he doesn't seem to feel the need to adapt his build. Sung is slowly building up his tech, and Academy, rather than getting that more information, or waiting for the Reaper rather, decides to recall out the probe and save himself an extra worker. As the Adept is now being built, Reaper makes its way across the map this time, does not decide to stay home, as there is still no tech for Academy, so it's probably looking like another Stargate, as no Warp Gate has started up and the probe is in position, and the Stargate does indeed start. No tank for this game, we were just going for a Hellion and what seems to be a faster command center for this type of build. Sung is just going to try to get some scouting with that Hellion, possibly a bit of damage, but with 2 Adepts soon to be out, I don't think there will be much that one Hellion can do. But with 2 Reapers, he might be able to surprise us. Academy is still just building up his economy. And for now, I'm curious to find out whether it's going to be a Phoenix, maybe another Void Ray if he does suspect that aggression, or still just a standard Oracle. And it's looking like an Oracle, so he can get that information and maybe a bit of damage on the other side of the map, as 2 Hellions have now finished up, waiting for the 3rd Reaper, and he will probably make his way across the map. It's a more TVT style build, but it can definitely catch the Protoss off guard. Academy though seems to be preparing herself by getting almost a wall off, which will be able to keep those Hellions out, but he will have to hurry up with this if he really wants to keep them out, as this one Adept has not gained enough weight to fully block up this wall. Battery does go down now, wants to keep the wall alive, but it's to be too late. Sung decides to just fight the Adept and does get the kill on it. Bit of damage onto that Hellion as they now make their way into the natural. Oracle shows back up to defend, but for now 3 probes have fallen and more are soon to fall. 5 probes in total. But this is of course evened up by the fact that Academy did have a way faster natural base. But 7 probes is definitely a bit more damage than he would have liked to receive, as the other Adept decided to just chill up on the Reaper ledge. Oracle does eventually defend it though, and Academy, with his aggression dealt with, decides to go for his 3rd base, as Warpgate finally finishes up as well. Sung behind this added on his extra racks, or well, one of them, and it's just increasing his marine count along with his tank count and going for some Bantus to harass Academy even further. Oracle does show across the map and figures out exactly what is in store for him on Sung's side of the map, as a few gateway units make their way across the map to try and get some damage in return. Now Sung got some really good damage with his early attack, but unfortunately for him it has also been evened out by his lack of SCV production, as it's kind of sloppy in my opinion. Adepts shade into the natural, tank is in position, 3 Marines show up, and Academy is looking to just straight up jump on the tank and kill it. SCVs are pulled to repair the tank, tank is being repaired, and most of the gateway units do fall along with one of the Oracles. Putting Sung ahead in supply by quite a bit, as it is 9 army supply to 27. Sung, realizing that this is the case after killing this many units for this early into the game, decides to take all of his units along with some SCVs across the map to try and finish off Academy before Academy can get out of hand with that 3rd Nexus. Might even just try to cancel or kill the 3rd Nexus, but what it seems like with his army units, it is going to be to try to get into that natural, as a couple of bunkers do try to get up. A lot of SCVs here, so they are enough to replace the SCVs building the bunkers, as the Banshee taking quite a bit of damage from those Stalkers, almost falling, 2nd Banshee showing up. The tanks are now sieged up, so the bunkers will be able to go up safely, and the 3rd base for Academy is being targeted. Moving slightly closer to the natural, 1 tank going up even further as the Robo finishes up. Academy looking to get that Immortal out as fast as possible as one of the gateways falls. Maybe even the 2nd gateway, which will hurt the unit production for Academy a lot. But for now, he's starting down that Robo. Robo does fall, so there will be no Immortal to help Academy in the defense against his tanks. Super Battery has been popped, so there will be no more Super Battery to help the defense even further, which means the natural base for Academy will probably have to be given up. Blink is on the way, but I don't think it will finish in time to be able to go around to kill the tanks, as the tanks are also still protected by this bunker as a new one is coming up. Not a lot of Stalkers at the same time, as only 1 gateway for Academy remains. New Robo has been planted, and the Immortal is on the way along with 4 more gateways, 2 finishing up now, but the lack of production for Academy is really hurting him. No Void Race on the way either. Any units would help at this point, but Academy, due to losing his Nexus, is now severely supply blocked. As one pylon starts up now, but it won't be in time. What Academy has is what it's going to be for the next minute or so, as Sung is moving up further into this main base. He has the high ground vision in the Viking and the Banshee, so the tanks can chill away at the Stalkers. Stalkers not the best units against the tanks, especially with this many Marines in front of them. No new units finally in production for Academy, as he did lose a lot of supply and a couple pylons finally finished up. But Sung sieging up further and further, as there are now 4 tanks and they are just one-shotting the Stalkers. 15 SCVs at the same time have gone down for Sung, as the Oracle did show up on the other side of the map, so what Sung has here is also what it will be for the foreseeing future. But Academy trying to delay as much as possible by putting the force fields on the ramp, as he is trying to get his Dark Shrine to be able to help him defend this push, maybe even try to kill Sung with it. But the Dark Shrine is still so far out, but Sung's units are not far out, as they are currently inside of the main base of Academy as the super battery gets popped. Sung pulling back as far as possible. The Immortal goes down to the tanks. The Stalkers are getting targeted by the tanks now as well, and they are falling, dropping like flies. As Sung keeps pushing forward, it's 19 army supply to 64. As +1 did finish up for Academy, but there are not enough units to benefit from it, as Liberator now shows up to zone the units even further. Tanks unsieging, looking to move into the main base. A couple of SCVs blocking the tanks, probably not intentional. But the batteries have been forfeited as Academy moves further back into his main base. Darkshrine does finish up, 1DT warped in, not enough gas for another one. Are there scans available? Scans are available for Sung, but does he realize the Dark Templar is being warped in? Tanks now in the main base along with a lot of Marines. Stalkers try to move in, immediately get shelled and lose their lives. The Dark Templar are now here killing the Marines, but one scan gets rid of both at the same time. And with the DTs losing their lives, Academy loses his chances in the game and GG's out.
Let's go, son.
On to Ancient Sister. Both players are ready, so let's load up the game. Alright, game number 3. After another sloppy defense, partially because he couldn't get a scout in, so we can't really blame him. It is Academy in the top right, with the blue probes once again, looking to once again secure a lead in this series, against a red Terran in the bottom left, who evened up the series with quite an attack, showing he has the patience it takes to do those tank pushes and perform them successfully. It is Sung. Now Sung looking to get a bit aggressive again this game, as he sends out an SCV, not in the usual scouting route, as it is looking to build a barracks in the middle of the map. As Academy is also looking to mix it up a bit, show a bit more of his cheesy side, as he has played standard both games before this, but no longer he will. Now there is still no Cybercore up, so this is quite an early pylon, so it will most likely just be for a gateway rather than any tech, as it is indeed a gateway that gets built. Without the 17 Nexus, however, I don't think it is the Adept Twister, which I like to play a lot myself, and he does actually get a scout in, seeing there is no barracks at home. I'm curious to see... Okay, really, I'm just going to keep you muted, your mic keeps making sounds. As the SCV does make its way into the main, scouts 2 gas but no barracks, as he is now looking around the map with 2 probes to make sure how many barracks it is and what kind of cheese it is. This is a new one to me. It is a barracks building a reactor rather than a tech lab, so it won't be the Marauders that are going to hit Academy, but a lot of Marines, but with only 2 barracks. As Academy's gateway has finished up, it is for 2 Stalkers. No warp gates on the way, as he does not have the gas to spare. Since Academy is doing this off of 1 gas as 1 probe, we'll be able to scout what is going on in Sung's game. As I was mistaken, this is not a barracks, this is a factory. So it appears it's going to be for a proxy 111, as the SCV is pulled off of the factory, so he's going to be able to delay that factory until at least the Marines have finished up. As the Stalkers now make their way out, looking to finish off this SCV. The Marines do finish, kill one of the probes, but the factory is not finished, so he will not be able to make any of those units. And it will be Marines versus Stalkers. It is not looking great for Sung, as the Stalkers are now here to delay this factory even further. And with it, Sung decides to GG out of the game. And that was the fastest game of the series so far. As tragedy has in fact struck Sung his choice. As we move on
Can you
to
put the scores up
Royal
next game?
Blood. I should probably do that, yeah. Alright, for game number 3, the Academy once again securing his lead in this series, and this time spawning in the bottom left side on Royal Blood. He's looking to finish it up as he is now on match point against the opposing Terran. Sung, unfortunately, having his cheese scouted and almost getting cheesed himself. There were just too many gateway units for the amount of Marines he could produce, and with it the fastest game of maybe even the season had concluded, and he is now looking to even it up once again to keep his number 1 spot in the league secured. But Academy, of course, looking to take that number 1 spot, as for now it seems to be standard again, but that all depends on the position of this probe. But of course Sung, as he has proven throughout the series, is not looking to keep this standard at all, as that's where Academy shines, and it seems Sung knows that that's where Academy shines. As Academy is in fact scouting normally this game, no weird proxy again, and he will see the lack of a barrack, so it's slightly faster. Now I wonder if he's going to be sending out those probes once again, but it seems like he's keeping them at home for now, and it's just... okay, 1 probe is being sent out to scout around the map, looking for that proxy. But it seems he will not be in the path towards that barracks, as he's going to the right side of the map. And with the barracks placement, it makes me think it is just going to be for a proxy Reaper, and maybe the proxy 111 after all. As it seems the SCV does want to build something again here. But Academy seems unfazed, though he did get a second gas faster and is keeping it on 1 base so far. Did scout the double gas, and the factory is in fact home, rather than in this location, as the SCV did get trapped by its own barracks. Academy getting into vision, and does see the barracks now. Does also see the tech lab, sees that it's researching something, so he's quite sure that this will be the Marauders. Well, since Academy did scout the double gas, I would have liked him to just have expanded like normal, but this will also be a defense doable, as he went double gateway at the same time. I think it's a bit excessive, but as long as Sung doesn't decide to expand behind this, it might just be fine for him. Of course, the reason I would have liked him to get a Nexus is because the Nexus can be part of the defense in form of a super battery, and you have to secure a lead over your opponent at some point as well, as right now they are pretty much equal, as they are both on 1 base. Starport going up as well in the middle of the map once again. I hadn't even spotted it there yet. It is in fact a 1-1-1 cheese on one base, but not all of it is proxied. So I'm curious if he can actually match up the units that he wants. Though Sung does not seem to be eager to be aggressive with these Marauders for now, as Academy is still really scared as his tech is super late, still on one base, and all of his units are at home except for that one probe trying to get some info. But of course Sung, with only the factory at home not producing anything, cannot get rid of the probe, so sooner or later the probe might actually get in if he forgets about it. Medevac coming out now, looking to drop those Marauders into the main base, but Sung knows there is no natural. I would really like him to just go home, build his own natural, as there is no reason to be this aggressive against a one-base Protoss. Especially since there's now a Void Ray being chronoed out, and it may just be 3 Stalkers against 4 Marauders. 5 Stalkers now, but the battery will make the difference, as the natural is now going up for Academy, as the Marauders find 1 kill on the first Stalker. Medevac being targeted down, but the Marauders slowly but surely taking out all the Stalkers. As only 2 Stalkers remain, 1 Stalker remains, but only half of the Marauders remain as well, as the last Stalker falls, almost falls, but the battery decides to save it, and Sung decides to GG out, closing up the series 3-1 in favor of Academy, and we have a new champion within the league.
GG.
I understand how you were rank 1 now.